Okay, so we're going to move on to the mailbox migration. These are things to consider for when you're ready to do the mailbox portion of the migration. One option or one thought may be to archive that data before you migrate it. So if you can archive it off, preferably not to a GroupWise or Notes archive, because then you're going to have to try and manage those, but preferably to an archiving platform. Next option is will users, or next question, will users participate in migrating their own mailbox? Third-party vendor tools have the ability to do self-service migrations, being able to let the users migrate themselves when they're ready to. Maybe an approach is to have them participate in the migration. Available bandwidth, touched on earlier today, may need to migrate over weekends depending on, or nights, depending on when that circuit is available and has the ability to be fully utilized. Multiple migration machines as an option as well. So you can have one machine, two machines. Again, it was discussed earlier today. The last two I'm going to take a moment to speak about, and this is how, or one type of way to mitigate or cut down on the coexistence that's needed. So there are a couple of different approaches here. We have some customers that have done their Notes and GroupWise migrations using these approaches. And what you realize from using these approaches is that you cut down on the calendaring type of coexistence, that free busy. So front-loading the data migration approach, and what that means is you start migrating the data up into Microsoft Online, and at some point you will be pretty close to a full sync of what's on premises. At that point, you do one more delta of that data, possibly over a weekend or over the next few days. Once that delta is complete, then you go ahead and switch over the users. And at that point, they're all on one platform together. The flip side, or the opposite approach to that, is to backload the data. So today, the data would be migrated up, but with filters. So you may, for example, if you have 3,000 mailboxes, you migrate everybody up today with maybe a week's worth of mail, but all of their calendar information, all of their contact information. And then over the next day or a few days or a few weeks, you start backfilling the rest of their information, the rest of their data in. Foreign migration, so there are a couple of different migration approaches. Again, there's a two-hop migration, and there are a couple of reasons why we see this, and this is, again, is for Domino GroupWise. If you possibly want to use a Microsoft tool, a native type tool to do this migration, you would bring up a staging server, an Exchange server, so you do on-premise GroupWise or Notes using a native tool, and migrate that over to the Exchange on-premises, and then you use the tool that was discussed earlier today, which is the Exchange migration tool for Microsoft Online. Some drawbacks to that is that manually, you'll have to manually set the mail forwarding, and you're doing two hops. Third-party tools or partner tools offer the ability to do a single hop or direct migration from the on-premises GroupWise or Notes environment straight into Microsoft Online, and it also gives you the additional filtering capabilities, the self-service capabilities, and so on.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, I know Keith is from Quest, so I'm going to talk about his product here. I actually asked Keith if I could talk about the partners. There's really two main partners that are doing this, for both Domino, two main partners in Domino, one partner for GroupWise, and they're really good partners with us. They've been working with us for years on the on-premise, and they both have kind of stepped up to do migrations for in the cloud. So Quest, which is, Keith's been helping give the session today, and they have a set of tools. We've used those tools in migrations already. We've had several customers that have gone through it. What's nice is they're both Domino, both GroupWise. You can automate it, so they have tools for batching and automating. They can do the backfill, both the backfill or the front fill methods of doing that. And in addition to that, they have some coexistence tools that have come out. And so it is they basically have a pretty well. I'd say they have a complete solution for getting up to Microsoft Online. And like I said, we've done several customers. Most of them have gone for a very short coexistence migration. The other customer, the other partner is Binary Tree, and so I want to make sure everyone gets. We've got some, I guess, binary tree balls here, but make sure that you pick them up. But binary tree has also done migration tools over the years. A lot of the same things. They can they can automate the migrations and things like that. One thing that's different is that they don't do GroupWise. They're really focused on Domino. It's been a company that's been focused on Domino over the years. They kind of pride themselves in being a Domino centric company. And the other thing that's interesting is like about 2 weeks ago, they announced a Weekend Express, which is actually a migration service. So instead of having tools that you run, you actually work with them. They'll work with you to replicate your data into a hosted service they have, and then they'll perform the migration for you based out of their data center. And so they're providing, they're one of the first vendors that are providing migration as a service versus just delivering tools. And so that's kind of an interesting model that they have. And so and there's another partner that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on in some of the tools that they have. So those are the two partners that are in kind of the Domino in the GroupWise space. So, and I think that was the last thing on the Domino, unless there was something else you wanted to.
Does anyone have any questions around the Domino or the
It's
notes?
Chimpanzee, by the way.
Chimpanzee.
Any questions about Domino and notes?
Domino and notes.
Can any chimpanzee do it? Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I'll just be, well, in fact, I'll talk about some real customers in a minute here.